Hi guys, Max again. So, to achieve great things, two things are needed. A plan and not quite enough time. When the word party is mentioned, many people get excited. Whether it's a birthday, a graduation, or just a good time, everyone loves a party. Except for those few people who are just a little socially awkward. But we'll exclude them from this. It's a time for drinks, dancing, mingling among friends and family that you don't get to see on your day-to-day life. It's just a camaraderie to have a good time. What is often neglected, though, is the amount of energy that is put into planning a party. It's not always just showing up and going to a party. It takes a lot of work to plan a successful party. Yeah, sure, you could throw a party together in a couple hours. But I feel like people are going to notice that you really didn't take the time and really put much effort into planning the party. And really, when you're having a party, it's all about making people feel just relaxed and having fun. So if they see that it's just kind of put together and kind of hodgepodge, misplaced, they're not really going to enjoy it. So for me, the real question is, how do you do it? How do you plan a successful party? Today, we're going to talk to you about how to plan the best party. What it takes to have the most successful party that everyone's going to talk about. Remember that one party we went to? That was awesome. We're going to talk to you about the ideal location, the preparation, and the theme of the party. But first, I'm going to show you guys a little secret from me that helps with all of my party planning. It goes by the name of coffee. I can't do anything unless I have my caffeine. Not for everyone, but definitely for me. I know that I get the worst headache when I'm trying to plan things and trying to concentrate and have that mindset of just focus. I can't do it if I don't have my coffee. So, thanks to my job, I always have that on deck. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about location. When planning a party, it's always best to start off with finding the ideal location for the event that's being planned. Is it easy to get to? What's parking going to be like? What's the capacity? So let's break that down a little bit. So for location, when it comes to perfect location, the first thing that pops into my mind is it easy to get to or accessible for everyone? I live in Redlands. That's about 30 minutes from Riverside, about, 45 minutes from Pomona. So I know me and my boyfriend have family in Pomona. I have family in Riverside. We have family in Moreno Valley. So luckily for us, we're kind of a center hub for everyone. It's kind of easy to get to. I know it might seem a little bit further east, but as far as a middle point, we're pretty right in the middle. However, we live in a 650 square foot apartment, so it's not always ideal to have a party here. So we'd have to seek different options. A lot of options include hotel conference rooms or even parks or golf courses. I know there's a lot of nice city parks and public parks that a lot of people don't necessarily think of, but are also a really good ideal location. So when planning a party, you want to make it accessible for everyone. You want to make it fun for them to go to, because I guarantee if you say, oh yeah, we're having this party, but it's 45 minutes from your house, people are going to be like, yeah, I want to go, but I just don't feel like driving. And 9 times out of 10, that's me. I am definitely can put my name on that list of, yeah, I'm not going because it's just too far. Because I want to go have fun, but I also don't want to drive. And you have to take into consideration what type of party it is. If it's a themed party, you have to get all dressed up. So the amount of time it takes to get dressed up, to get to that location, is it worth it? Are you going to be drinking at this party? The location determines that. Because if it's an hour and a half away from my apartment or my house, and I'm drinking, it's not really smart to drink and drive. It's illegal, so I'm not going to do it. You always want to make it accessible for them. Can they take a 20-minute Uber or Lyft? Can they get there within 20 to 25 minutes? So location plays a huge role. What is the capacity of this location? How big is your party? Is it 20 to 30 people? Is it 50 to 75 people? 75 to 100? Capacity is going to have a big effect on that location. I know for my junior, senior prom, we had it at a golf course. I went to a really small private school. So the location didn't need to be big. We had it at a private country club. Really intimate. But we had, 45 people. So the location was ideal for that event because It was big enough that we weren't cramped and we weren't on top of each other. And that's really ideal, is the location that you have sets the mood for the whole party. If you have a big warehouse, yeah, it's a big space, and it holds a lot of people, but can you really turn that into the type of party you want? Now, if the party you want is this electro robot type of vibe, maybe a warehouse is fit for you. But a lot of people aren't going for that. A lot of people like to feel outdoors. They like to feel in open air because it's just easy to breathe. It's easy to relax. It's easy to just have a drink and talk to people. So for me, a lot of outside events are always an ideal location, and it's always at the top of the list. And it's something to definitely take into consideration when planning a party, because a lot of people love to be outside, especially when they're relaxing and just enjoying themselves. Another thing that it comes to when planning the ideal location is, how is parking going to be? Is it parking on the street? Is there a parking lot? Is there a parking structure? Do they have to find their own parking? That's exhausting. When it comes to getting an invite to a party and I see street parking only, my car's been broken into once. I've been hit a couple times. I don't just want to leave my car there. And I know that might sound a little crazy, but a lot of people think that way. So you kind of have to put your mindset and be empathetic towards other people's feelings. And how are people going to feel if I make them park 5 minutes from where the party's at? A lot of people like to go back and forth. A lot of girls wear heels and they want to change into the shoes. Is it going to be easy for them to do that without having to go and leave for a long period of time to come back? So a lot of things should be taken into consideration when planning the ideal location. However, once you find the ideal location, it's almost cakewalk after that. A lot of prep comes after this. The fun parts come after this. Once you find and settle on that perfect location, you get to have the fun part of fun and stressful part of planning the party. So Emily's going to take it away now, and she's going to talk to you guys about what the preparation looks like. Go ahead.
Thank you, Maxwell, for that awesome introduction and great information about party locations. Now, I'll be talking to you about the preparations that go into planning a party. As these usually include small details, make sure that you don't miss any. First is going to be your budget. Make sure to set a budget, as this is going to help you keep yourself financially in check. You want to make sure that you plan out every cent, as you don't want to spend unnecessary money. Set yourself maybe like a minimum and a maximum budget, just in case you need to spend a little extra. And I know that you want to buy everything that matches, but trust me, don't go over the top when you're planning your party, as you don't want your wallet to hate you the next day. Next is going to be your supplies. Make sure that you have enough supplies for everybody. These are going to include your food, your drinks, your plates, cups, utensils, etc., etc. This makes your guests feel welcome and included when there's enough supplies for them. It's better to have 10 plates left over than to ask them to use that awkward napkin. Also, if you're looking for like a money saver, Sharpie their names on their cups. That way they can reduce and reuse at the same time and you won't be out of money. Next is your guest list. Make sure that you plan a guest list, as this helps keep the people that you want in the party in and the people that you don't want in the party out. And make sure that you get an approximation of who's coming and who's not, so then that way you can help yourself plan around that. That way you don't have to buy that extra sleeve of cups if you know that a family can't make it. And definitely get a few extra every once in a while, because just in case an extra +1 shows up, you don't want to make them feel awkward. Next is going to be the invitations. Make sure that you get the word out there. Your party is sure to be a hit, so make sure that you let people know when it is. This lets people know the date, the location, the time, and all the other details about the party. Make sure though that you ask around before you go ahead and plan it, because you don't want to plan a big event on a date that everybody's out of town for, say like 4th of July or your best friend's birthday, which although you'd be there for. Make sure though that when you're doing your invitation, you make sure to let the guests know what they're celebrating. So if it's for a birthday, or if it's just a dinner party, or it's Valentine's Day, let's go ahead and make sure that you put all the necessary details in it. Also, another thing that's going to be really important is your entertainment and your music. Having entertainment at a party is crucial. You don't want your guests to feel bored, but you also don't want to overwhelm them with too much to do. Maybe have a few little games like pin the tail on the donkey, or some like apple eating with your mouth plunging games on Halloween. Those things always make a difference. And your music. Tunes are crucial at a party. It lets guests know that they can let go a little bit and they can step out of their comfort zone and get a little groovy. But also be cautious of your volume and your genre that you pick. If you know that you have guests that are a little bit older or a little bit younger and the music isn't appropriate for them, make sure that you plan that. I typically like to set up like a playlist on Spotify or use my throwback CD holder. This thing has everything from the early 90s to early 2000s, and it is sure to be a hit. Always go with like a happy medium though. You don't want to play something that bores other people or something that gets the other people too rowdy. So maybe like top 20 or something. Next is also going to be your time and setup. This is crucial because you want to make sure that you're planning enough time for you to set up every detail for your party, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself with this. Friends and family are usually pretty excited to help set up for a big event, so maybe ask somebody to help you out with those heavy tables or extra few chairs. And don't get stressed out with this because you don't want to be stressed out at your party. Being stressed out at your own party is the worst thing, and it'll keep you in a bad mood all night. You want to make sure that you're there to enjoy yourself because it's not just you planning the party, you also get to enjoy the party after. So make sure that you follow these points as you want to make sure that your party is a hit and you want to make sure that everybody has a great time. Now I'll go ahead and pass you off to Naima, who will talk to you about the party criticals like having a theme and decorations that make the party a blast. Thanks.
Now that we've heard from Maxwell and Emily about how to pick a location and how to prepare for your party, it's time to pick a theme. There are so many different sensible themes that you could pick. One could be based on the location. For example, if you're having your party at an arcade, it would be easy to do an arcade-themed party. You wouldn't have to get too many special decorations, but you could get stuff that would appeal to people at an arcade. You could have a cake that's shaped like your favorite video game character, or something cool like that. The dress code would be simple, something you can play long in. If you're having a pool party, the dress code would also be very apparent. You would just want your guests to wear their swimsuits and maybe bring a towel. There are so many other reasons to pick a theme. If you're having a party for a holiday, for example Christmas, you could do an ugly sweater party. This helps with the dress code because everyone would just have to wear their ugliest sweater. And props and decorations are really easy to find during the holidays. This is really straightforward and it removes the guesswork out of planning for your party and picking decorations. The point of a theme is to reiterate what's being celebrated. A lot of times on college campuses, you'll find that students have toga parties, and they do this because of the heavy Greek life presence on campuses. You might find in other places, like for children, they'll have parties at movie theaters and stuff like that, or places where they can run around like parks and express all their energy that they have. Having a theme really helps set clear, concise rules for your party, not necessarily rules to be abided by, but rules for your planning. So when you shop for decorations, you don't have to go to a million different stores to find one thing. If you know your theme, you know what you need. And that really helps with planning your party. All in all, when you're planning your party, it's really important to make lists. Once you cross things off, it makes it that much easier and you get that much closer to actually throwing the party. Know what you need beforehand. Use those lists to make the job easier for yourself. Make it so it's the easiest thing you have to plan and it's not a stressful thing. It'll really help you in the end so that you can really enjoy yourself. At the end of the party, take lots of pictures for memories. Remember all your hard work and remember how much fun everyone had. And in the end, make sure yourself and everyone else really celebrates, enjoys, and has a blast. I hope to see you at the next party, and thank you for listening to us explain to you how we like to throw a party. I just got my invite, so I'll see you guys there.